Hello everyone, it's Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today is the first episode of 2 of the 2026 DFW Puzzle Showdown. So this happened on July 25th, and it was an all-day event with 4 different types of puzzle contests. And you're probably familiar with them at this point. I've kind of had a lot of contests with all the same style of competition. So I'm not going to go over too much of how the competition works, but kind of maybe do a little recap of last year's showdown versus this year, and we'll kind of go through each of the contests individually, as well as the other things that were going on the side. So first things first, this video will cover my solo competition and my team's competition, and in the second video we'll go over the pairs and the pairs relay with Christina. So that'll be how it's broken up, and then each of the videos will have kind of a little bit tidbits of what happened on the side of the main competitions. So first things first, the solo competition was in the morning about 9:30, and I arrived with about 40 or 50 puzzles in tow for the puzzle swap. I was very happy to see that the puzzle swap was quite large, and my goal now at this point is to take more than I bring back, because I have quite a lot of puzzles to get through. It is starting to dwindle just a little bit. I've reduced the to-do pile, but it's still quite large, and at least it's a bit more organized and cleaned up versus the random stacks I had before. So that was the first thing I did, dumped all my puzzles at the puzzle swap, and then kind of got ready for the solo competition. Met up with Brittany, Shay, and Christina. They all kind of arrived, and we all kind of got prepared for our solo competition. Now, I did invite some of my family members to come, and my grandmother, my grandfather, and my aunt actually did come and see me do the solo competition, and the second competition that day was the pairs relay. So they got to see kind of me in action. So I thought that was kind of fun. And I'm kind of glad to see that my family can kind of come in and watch, the speed puzzling and be a little bit part of it. It is one of those things that speed puzzling is not the most fun to watch when you're in person. I will give it that. It's really very anticlimactic in the middle of it. Like you have the great exciting start, everybody's dumping their pieces out, you kind of see the puzzle. And then there's a long pause of people trying to finish it. Even the fastest person finishing it, there's a bit of a gap there. It's kind of boring, I would say. So speed puzzling, in my opinion, while I enjoy it and I love competing, and I think it's one of the best things happened to me personally, I would not consider it enjoyable, watchable sport. It's just kind of what it is, unfortunately. But anyway, there was bleachers. It was a different venue than last year. Most of the time they've been doing it at this North Richland Hills venue, and they had to switch because they outgrew it. We got too big for it. And this one was at a visitor center in a gym, and that poor gym could not keep up with the AC. It's Texas. We're at 105 degrees and the 7th, 8th day in a row at this point. And that AC just couldn't keep up with at least 100 people in that room. So it was a little bit hot, and again, really not the fault of anybody, but just the situation of weather and just so many bodies in the one room. Kind of made you feel like you're doing a little bit of a workout. I will say that. So the puzzle sponsor for the DFW Showdown was Boardwalk. So I kind of looked and tried to see which ones might appear. I made a mistake in one of my prior videos. I thought it was going to be a 500-piece puzzle for the solo. It turns out it was going to be a 300. I only found that out, or I misread it at least, a few days before the event. So I quickly went on Boardwalk's website that didn't have a lot of 300-piece options. And I did do my London one about a week prior. And guess what? It was London. So I'm like, oh, I've done this. This should be quick. I should be sub 20. So I figured that would get me, right up there in first place, do the best I can. But there was a little bit of a surprise with this competition. I will go ahead and run this footage, and I will tell you what happened at the end of it. Alrighty. 300-piece London from Boardwalk. Let's smash it.
Well, alright, you want to go ahead and write your names in on those?
Well, for my second attempt at London, we got under 20 minutes. Officially. My timer didn't register at under 20 minutes. I think it was like at 20 minutes and 6 seconds, and then I saw it tick over, just over 20 minutes, and I was just so frustrated with myself. And they're like, no, you were at 1952. So that was my time for London, 1952. And so, you know what? I was happy. I was like, oh, okay, I'm under 20 minutes. I'm happy. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I look over to my left, and there was another lady sitting next to me, but one table over was Christina to my left, and then one table over to my right was Shay. And I kind of looked over at Shay because I was half expecting her to beat me, and she was still puzzling. But I looked over to my left, and Christina's sitting there smiling. She had finished her puzzle almost 50 seconds faster than me. I was so happy to see that she got first place because she has been having a hard time in person because she gets all nervous and she kind of gets in her own head, she always tells me. And it's like she got out of her head this time. She got in the mode, and her Zoom version of her came in this competition. She got it done in 19 minutes and 2 seconds. So I was super thrilled to see that she got first place. And then there was me at 1952 in second, and then Shay followed by in third place at about 21 and a half minutes. So I think Shay might have beat my first attempt time. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was roughly around the same time. So me and Shay would have been pretty identical if it was my first attempt at this puzzle. So Christina, I think, is just kind of an expert at the 300-piece boardwalk because there was a boardwalk puzzle we did for a speedpuzzling.com competition that was called Bear Lake, and she did it in like 17 and a half minutes. I think she even beat Boy Wonder with that time. And so I think she's just kind of an expert at the 300-piece count for boardwalk. She did say she had done the 1,000-piece version of it, so that probably definitely helped doing the 300-piece version. But I think there's just something about the piece cut that she's just really good at with this one. So Christina took first place, and I got second, and Shay got third. So the Golden Texan Trio took the podium. So very happy for us. And then I think fourth and fifth, fourth I think was Kinsey, and then fifth I think was Rachel. So they did pretty good as well. They were under 30 minutes. And so I think it was a good group of people doing the solo competition. And I believe only 3 people out of the 91 competitors didn't finish the puzzle. So most people finished it within the hour timeline. So that's good. You always kind of want to see that. And I think the gentleman who has run this competition, Stephen, he has really been trying to make the puzzles a little bit easier so that most people can finish it within the allotted time. And that's kind of what you want to see. A clear room, everyone's done with the puzzle before the time runs out. So that was the solo competition. And the solo competition was a USA JPA certified tournament, basically. So my second place results will be going towards my JPAR rating. Christina's first place results will go, and Shay's third place results will go. So, that'll bump our ratings up. I think I'm like at 84th out of 700 and something. It's definitely not been updated since then, so I think that's still prior to the U.S. national results, so I do think I'll be getting a bump from that as well. But I don't know what those are, and if I look on their website and see that they updated it, I will let you know what that update is. But in the meantime, second place for the solo competition. Can't complain about my results on that. I was kind of expecting second place, but you know what? I'm very happy for Christina. I'm very happy that both of us were under 20 minutes. I think that was probably, according to Stephen, one of the fastest times on a 300-piece puzzle for the showdown. And I definitely improved from last year's showdown. I think I was 6th place, and I didn't miss a piece this time. I had left a piece in the bag and with that dog puzzle, and that cost me, I think, 4th place because I was off by 10 seconds because of the missing piece. So definitely an improvement from last year. Gonna have to up my game. Christina's ganging on me in the in-person contest now. Alrighty, so moving on to the teams puzzle, which I do not have in front of me. That was called Bike Ride. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle from Boardwalk. And when we saw this, we're like, okay, this one's alright, I think. Definitely easier than the Halloween cookies that we got at the Spooktacular, but I don't think it was going to be the easiest puzzle in the world. And I recognized it because I think it was done at the 2025 New York State Championship from speedpuzzling.com. And so I had seen the image before, but I've not done the puzzle. So I knew it was going to be a bit of a difficult one. But my team consists of Christina, Shay, and Brittany. And Brittany has done her first teams with us. We did manage to do a practice day the weekend before, so we kind of had an idea what our strengths were, how well we worked together, and honestly, kind of how we did this puzzle was a bit interesting. We definitely changed tactics and did things a little bit differently. So I'll have a picture of the puzzle right here, and then after as well. But yes, this is Bike Ride by Boardwalk, 1,000 pieces. I don't think we have a team name for with Brittany, so we'll have to make one up. The Speed Puzzling Texas Ladies. I'm making things up as I go. Alrighty, 4 teams. Let's smash it. And we did bike ride in 47 minutes and 25 seconds. Honestly, not too bad. I think it was a more difficult puzzle than we were expecting. I think Shay and Christina were having the time of their lives with the top part of that sky and the tree. They were just having fun up there. They were just going at it and just they kept giggling, and it was kind of fun. Me and Brittany kind of got stuck with the building on the left, and then the kind of the ground on the left as well. I said I'm taking that bridge because I love bridges, and that's just my forte, and I had a lot of fun with that bridge. But we really did kind of get our strengths together. Shay did the sky, Christina did the tree, and I think it just kind of worked our way down to the bikes, which was the most difficult part. And we kind of, instead of switching puzzle trays, which we kind of did in Nationals, we switched seats. We kind of went around the circle and switched seats, which I think was interesting because, I mean, it is time consuming to switch seats physically, but, you know, I always thought that it would take up too much time, but it was actually probably a good thing because not only do you see new pieces, you kind of get a different perspective on the puzzle. And Christina and Shay like to be on the right side up of the puzzle, and then I don't mind doing it upside down, and I think Brittany was okay with doing it upside down. And we actually ended up doing it right side up, me and Brittany, at least at the beginning, while Christina and Shay did the sky and the tree. But they seemed to be having a fun time with that. I did the bridge, kind of inserted it in there. And then Brittany was working on the building and the left side, and then we kind of all came together for the bikes. And that was, again, the most difficult part. It definitely took us a lot longer than we were expecting. We wanted to be sub 40 minutes, but with this puzzle, it was definitely more difficult. So at 47 minutes and 25 seconds, we got first place. And we got it by 25 minutes. That puzzle really hurt a lot of other teams, sadly. I think poor Steven tried to pick an easier puzzle. The top half of that puzzle is easier. I will give him that. The bottom half was not. And only the top 16 teams finished the puzzle. I think he gave an extra 15 minutes of the 2-hour time limit. So I think he has finally stated, I'm going to move it to a 500 piece next time, which can be as difficult as 1,000 in terms of if you make the 500 piece puzzle more difficult. So, you know, he kind of jokingly said, hey, I'll make you all the board and you can decide what puzzle to use or not. I'm like, I mean, we can give you examples, but we can't see the puzzle, otherwise we're cheating. But yeah, he really did try. He did better than last time, I will say that. He really did try to get an easier puzzle. And I liked the puzzle. It was nice. I definitely want to maybe try it as a 500 if I get my hands on it. But for 1,000 pieces, I can definitely see how that sky was a bit daunting for some people. And then, of course, the bikes were just really difficult, highly detailed, and you kind of had to figure out which pieces go to what bicyclist. And it was just one of those types of puzzles you kind of have to pick and place almost. So we got first place out of 34 teams. And I think we were pretty successful in that. We were definitely a powerhouse for this competition as a team. And it'll kind of make sense when I go over pairs and pairs relay in the next video, because Shay and Brittany teamed up while me and Christina teamed up. So we kind of came together, got our strengths, and we crushed it. So very happy for our team. We did great, had a lot of fun, but we were very hot in that gym. This was the last event of the day. And boy, we were sweating bullets. It was, the AC couldn't keep up with it, and I had to roll up my jeans because it was just too hot. But we kind of went into the lobby, which had a lot better AC and a fan going. We just kind of sat under there for a minute. And then we kind of, you know, checked out a few things and then went home. That was kind of it. So I did skip over the pairs relay and pairs, which would be the two contests in the middle. And so I'll kind of go over a few things that the competition also had outside of the main competitions, of course. So there was the 60,000 piece puzzle that Stephen had been completed over the course of, I think, 2 years. He had been doing it, and he finally had a place to set it all out. So I'll kind of show you a video I took with my cell phone here. And yeah, I actually have this puzzle and I have showcased it to y'all. I thought about doing it again for this video. I do not want to pick it up because it's like 80 pounds and it's heavy. But I do have it over in the corner here, and I do plan to see how fast I can do it. It'll be a daunting project. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do that. It is a future endeavor, but I do think that it'll be a lot of fun and a lot of puzzling for sure. And I could see how the full thing now lays out. It was, 8 feet tall by 30 feet long, and it's big. And, I kind of jokingly said, I'm going to cheat and look at all the pieces and see if I can memorize them. Yeah, no, 60,000 pieces, no one, I don't think, can memorize that. I don't think anyone can. Too much. But it was kind of awesome to see. I think he plans to have it hung up in like a hospital or an airport, some place that could post something that big. He kind of wants to donate it to some kind of like artwork, basically, which I think is great. It had to get dismantled into its sections, unfortunately, but it was quite nice to see it all laid out and everybody kind of got to see it. When he first posted the poster, I thought we would actually be doing it, like it would be a community puzzle and people would just kind of do it. But then I realized no matter how many people we had there was no way a 60,000 piece puzzle could get finished. At least in the way it was bagged. I think Worlds has done like a 40,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle, and they gave each person a 100 piece section, and they had enough people to do that with. So I guess it's possible, and I think they got it done in 25 minutes, but you had like, I don't know, 1,000 people doing it, something like that, and each person was doing a 100 piece section. So it makes sense, but I don't think it was possible for the amount of people we had at our venue for this one. So that was one thing. And then Boardwalk had their own shop up because they were the sponsor of the event. And I actually got to meet the CEO. He was there, and so we got to talking. And, we kind of got a little bit of a scoop on a few things. I won't say here because I don't want to get in trouble if I say something I shouldn't. But I am looking forward to some of their new releases and some of the new ideas that they have. So, once they kind of come out, I'll let y'all know. And, I didn't buy any Boardwalks, unfortunately. I had so many puzzles kind of coming home with me because of prizes and everything. And for prizes for the top 3 in each event, we got a free entry into the next event along with prize puzzles. So I brought home quite a few, like 210 piece puzzles. So I got quite a few puzzles I was already bringing along with the puzzle swap puzzles. And then during the event, Steven's team actually had snacks for everybody, like fruit snacks, chips, drinks. They actually did pretty good regarding running this event. I think having those snacks made everyone pretty happy. Food makes everyone happy. I think that was a wonderful idea, and I would recommend it in the future. I know it costs money, but I hopefully that won't change, because I think that was probably what most people would be like. Yeah, they fed us pretty much the whole time. Not a full lunch. There was a lunch option, but that was something you had to buy additionally, but the snacks were free, and I think that was such a nice gesture. And then the volunteer staff was awesome. They had like radios, they were working together, they had a photographer going. I think they even have a videographer going as well. So I do think that the event was very successful. I think that, Steven did a wonderful job, and I'm very happy that he gets to run these twice a year. Because he'll be doing the Spooktacular in October, and I think I plan to go to that one. So, but in the next video, I'll go over the pairs relay and pairs competition with Christina, and I'll also go over the 2 side events that were happening alongside it, because I have a couple things to say about that. But I wanted to only go over just maybe the outside stuff that wasn't puzzle related in this video. So, second place solo and first place teams. I think we smashed it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.